now we'll do the approval of the agenda. Well, actually, before the approval of the agenda, can we take a motion to excuse Councilwoman Stallings?
Make a motion to excuse Councilmember Stallings from today's meeting.
To have a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It's got to be a roll vote, doesn't it?
Oh,
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
sorry.
Councilmember Ferguson,
Yes.
Mayor Garrett,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cantor,
Yes.
Councilmember Siddiqui.
Yes.
Motion carried to excuse Councilmember Stallings from this meeting.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now the motion to approve the agenda.
Mayor and council, as was mentioned in the study session, if you could also amend the agenda to include the financial report that was omitted as part of the acceptance of approval of monthly disbursement reports.
Do I have a motion for the approval of the agenda?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with the aforementioned corrections.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, can we have roll call, please?
Roll call, Mayor Garrett,
Yes. Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem Cantor,
Yes.
Councilmember Siddiqui,
Yes.
and Councilmember Ferguson.
Yes.
Motion carried to approve the agenda with the aforementioned changes.
Thank you. So now we're going to go to the consent agenda, and all the items listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the city council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion. If a discussion is desired, that item or items will be removed from the consent agenda and discussed separately immediately after consent agenda approval in its normal sequence on the regular agenda. So I will take a motion to accept the consent agenda, which is the approval of minutes, April 20th, 2020, the budget study session, the approval of minutes, April 20th, 2020, the council meeting, approval of minutes, April 27th, 2020, budget study session, and the approval of minutes, May 4th, 2020, special council session.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It's moved in second. There is no separate discussion. Was there anything that anyone wanted to be pulled out of there? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember, I'm sorry, Mayor Pro Tem Cantor,
I think that was me. It kind of broke up, but I'll say yes.
this is roll call for consent agenda.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
Oh,
Eva.
yes, I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you. Okay, I don't know why. Councilmember Siddiqui,
Yes.
Councilmember Siddiqui, this is roll call for the, okay.
I said yes.
Councilmember Ferguson
Yes.
and Mayor Garrett,
Yes.
motion carried to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you. Next is the consideration approval of the monthly disbursement reports for the month of January 2020. And the January 2020 disbursements is for Fund 101 General Funds, which is $410,000 and $410,174.83. Fund 202 Major Roads is $7,360.84. Fund 203, local roads, which is $12,937.36. Fund 258, the capital fund, which is $9,235. Fund 494, downtown development authority, $11,681.87. And Fund 592, water and sewage, $180,402.52, with total disbursements of $631,792.42. Who would like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the monthly distribution report for the month of January for the total amount of $631,792.42 as broken out by the mayor previously.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Is there any discussion?
I
Hearing-
have one thing.
Oh, go
I
ahead.
have-
Pam.
It shouldn't be January 2020. That should have been April 2020.
Oh, yeah, I just read it off the page.
Yep.
Correct my motion for April 2020.
And then
Thank you.
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Second.
So, it's been moved in second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Roll call, Councilmember Siddiqui,
Yes.
Councilmember Ferguson,
Yes.
Mayor Garrett,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cantor,
Yes?
motion carried.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next up is the consideration of acceptance of the departmental reports.
I'll make a motion to approve or to accept the departmental reports.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say, oh, sorry, roll call.
Roll call, Councilmember Ferguson,
Yes.
Mayor Garrett,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cantor,
Always seems to break up on my name, but yes.
and Councilmember Siddiqui,
Yes.
motion carried.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We don't have any presentations. Do we have public comments that for anything that's on the agenda? Going once, going twice. Kelda, is there anybody?
There are people attending.
There are people attending, but there's no comments or questions at this time.
Okay, thank you. And now we'll open up the public hearing for fiscal year 2020, 2021 budget.
Could I ask someone else to share the screen because I am, for whatever reason, unable to at this point to move the. If someone could load up the agenda packet.
Is that the one that I showed from before?
Yes.
Let's see if I can find it now. 1 second, bear with me. You see my screen? No?
Cheryl, stop sharing your
I
screen.
can't even find it to share on, anyway,
So scroll to
Can
the
you-
bottom.
I don't have the screen on my screen.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I
So
can
have our
override.
people.
I'm going to try to override you. Hold on a sec. Bear with me. All kinds of interesting stuff happening on my screen here now.
Oops.
Okay, can you see it?
No.
Okay, it's coming up. Hold on. Still can't see it?
No.
Jeez, what's going on? Sorry. I'm gonna fix this now. All right, should work now. I don't know what's going on.
Let me see if there's anything I can do since Cheryl made me the co-meeting person.
All
Scott
right.
did it. Scott's
You
fine.
get it, Scott?
Yep, he got it.
You
Thank
got
you.
it? Yeah, I don't
Thank
know what
you.
happened there. Couldn't do it.
Okay.
Me neither.
So we are down at the public hearing for the fiscal year 2020, 2021 budget.
And that's on page 110 of your agenda packet.
Yep.
Interesting. I don't have a 110. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Does anyone want to speak during the public hearing? Okay, well then I'm going to close the public hearing and we'll go right into the action requests.
Okay.
First up is the adoption of the fiscal year 2020, 2021 budget.
All right, I'll make a motion to adopt the fiscal year 2020/2021 budget.
Second.
Thank you.
And
Is
the
there-
actual resolution, I think it's on page 111 of your packet.
Yep,
Yeah,
I see it.
And it basically highlights that the millage rate is the 18.1912 mils. The refuge collection millage is 2.7286 mils. It includes the DDA budget, which we discussed previously, and their appropriations are approximately 226,970. So the total appropriation for all funds and budgets is $8,676,906.
thank you. Further discussion?
Just for the residents' perspective, I just don't want them to think we're approving $8.6 million without any discussion. This was all discussed earlier in the study session, as well as the prior 3 study sessions that we've had over the last couple of months.
Correct.
Okay, hearing no further discussion, can I have roll call, please?
Roll call, Mayor Garrett,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cantor,
Yes?
Councilmember Siddiqui,
Yes.
Councilmember Ferguson.
Yes.
The 2020-2021 budget has been adopted.
Thank you.
Motion carried. You're welcome.
Next is the approval of Plant Moran's engagement letter for professional services agreement.
This is on page 114 of your packet. And this is for the annual audit to be performed by Plant Moran. The amount is $35,800. This is a 5% decrease from the prior year, and this amount is included in the budget that you just approved.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion to allow the city administrator to enter into this agreement with Plant Moran for our upcoming audit for the fiscal year 2019, 2020.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Is there any discussion? Just to bring it up, there had been discussed in the study session to look into putting out a RFP in 6 months to look into just seeing what the rates are for another accounting firm. Is that correct, Ian?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. Anyone else have a discussion?
And just a competitive process that Plant Moran as well as others can submit to.
Yep.
Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Roll call. Mayor Pro Tem Cantor,
Yes?
Councilmember Siddiqui,
Yes.
Councilmember Ferguson,
Yes.
and Mayor Garrett.
Yes,
Motion adopted.
thank you. Next up is the approval of Plant Moran additional services.
This appears on page 123 of your packet. And this is for the supplemental services to be provided by Plant Moran relative to the compilation and organization of the audit schedules, the capital assets, pension, and OPEB liabilities, and any work related to potential journal entries that need to be reviewed for our approval.
Thank you.
I make a motion to accept an engagement letter for professional services agreement with Plant Moran for gap services.
Second.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Roll call. Councilmember Siddiqui,
Yes.
Councilmember Ferguson,
Yes.
Mayor Garrett,
Yes,
and Mayor Pro Tem Cantor.
Yes.
Motion carried.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Next up is the approval / resolution for the opting in to the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG Program for 2021, 2022, and 2023.
And Mayor and Council, this appears on page 131 of your agenda packet. We have been a participant through Oakland County of the Community Development Block Grant Program called CDBG. We use those funding primarily for support services, especially for our seniors and low-income residents. And this would indicate that we are interested in participating for the next 3 years. And the upcoming period funding is estimated at about $21,137.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion for the approval and resolution of Community Development Block Grant CDBG Program, Oakland County, Urban County Qualification 2021-2023.
Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Roll call. Councilmember Ferguson,
Yes.
Mayor Garrett,
Yes,
Mayor Pro Tem Cantor,
Yes.
and Councilmember Siddiqui.
Yes.
Motion carried.
thank you. Next, we are looking at the approval or the motion to approve a purchase of a new recreation van.
And this appears on page 135 of your packet. And we've talked about this for over a year and a half, I believe now. And we have received the bid, which is the same pricing that we would attain through the Michigan, the shared purchasing program. So it's a competitive bid. And we're looking at the total purchase is $53,610. We had $20,000 already set aside in the capital budget. They will be applying for reimbursement for smart credits for $25,610 and the CDBG, which we just referenced, for $7,000. So that the total resources available already are $52,610, and that just leaves us essentially $1,000 short, which that is also should be available in the capital fund as well.
Thank you. Have a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve the purchase of a new van for the Recreation Department as recommended for cost not to exceed $52,610 from Holster Transportation, and authorize the city administrator to sign related documents.
Second?
It's been moved in second. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, just one question. I didn't notice when I read through it, but did I miss it? Is it going to be outfitted in any way to indicate that the van is Lathrup Village, where our logos be on the doors, or, will it say City of Lathrup Village? What are the plans for that?
Yes, we will go through the regular outfitting, as you call it, with the logo on the van. So that's a relatively nominal amount, and we'll just take that out of our regular budgeting.
Right. Okay. That's all.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Roll call, Mayor Garrett,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cantor,
Yes.
Councilmember Siddiqui,
Yes.
Councilmember Ferguson.
Yes.
Motion adopted for the capital purchase of the recreation van.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Now we'll move to the appointment of a representative and alternate for SACRA.
This is the annual appointment that they require, that we have a representative on the South Oakland County Resource Recovery Authority. And this would be to reappoint myself as the representative and Susan Steck as the alternate.
Thank you. Do we have to go through a motion for that? If it's well, I guess we do. So anyone want to make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to appoint Cheryl Mitchell as our SACRA representative and Susie Steck as our SACRA alternate.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Roll call, Mayor Pro Tem Cantor,
Yes.
Councilmember Siddiqui,
Yes.
Councilmember Ferguson,
Yes.
and Mayor Garrett.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
Thank you. Next will be the appointment of the representative and alternate for SACWA.
This is the same situation. This would be to appoint myself as the representative and Susan Steck as the alternate for the Southeast Oakland County Water Authority for the term starting July 1, 2020.
I'll make a motion to appoint Cheryl Mitchell as our SACWA representative and Susie Steck as our SACWA alternate.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? I'm sorry, roll call.
Roll call, Councilmember Siddiqui,
Yes.
Councilmember Ferguson,
Yes.
Mayor Garrett,
So sorry. Yes.
and Mayor Pro Tem Cantor.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
Thank you. And now we have a proclamation declaring the first Friday in June to be National Gun Violence Awareness Day.
This is the annual resolution to build the awareness relative to the reduction of gun violence. And the city is pledging to do all that we can to keep firearms out of the wrong hands and encourage responsible gun ownership to help keep our children safe. And by adopting this resolution, you would be claiming that the first Friday of June 5th, 2020, to be National Gun Violence Awareness Day in the city of Lathrup Village.
Thank you. Anyone want to make a motion to proclaim June 5th, the first Friday in June, to be the National Gun Violence Awareness Day? Anybody?
I make a motion to,
To accept the proclamation declaring that the first Friday in June be National Gun Violence Awareness Day.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved in second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Roll call, Councilmember Ferguson,
yes.
Mayor Garrett,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cantor,
Yes.
and Councilmember Siddiqui.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
Thank you. Now we will have the city administrator report.
Thank you. I'll be very glad when we don't have to have meetings on Zoom. We've been managing to maintain operations here in the city. We have administrative staff on rotating schedules to minimize the number of people that you're coming into contact with in terms of your fellow employees. Anticipating that we will be opening to the public June 1st to some degree. We're waiting for the directive from the governor to find out what will be allowed and when before making those final determinations. And we'll be working on the actual plan within the coming weeks so that we'll have the protocols in place and everyone is familiar with them prior to becoming open again to the general public. We have some exciting news. The Oakland County Stabilization Grant resulted in the first round. We awarded to 15 local businesses approximately almost $33,000. They were able to get supplemental funds. So with round 2, we were able to award to 38 businesses over $200,000. So each business received a little over $4,000 or a little bit more than $4,000 each, which will hopefully go a long way in helping them during this economic crisis. As mentioned in the study session, we have the Patronicity campaign going full blast. We're hoping to raise $10,000 to offer micro grants to our local businesses. We have received a generous donation from Michigan First Credit Union of $4,000. So we're going to have the match from the Main Street Oakland County for $4,000 as well. So we already have $8,000 of our $10,000 goal, and I believe individuals have donated about $1,600. So we're well on our way, and just keep asking your friends. No donation is too small or too large, and we welcome everyone's participation because we want to keep our local businesses striving and support them as best we can. Also, at the DDA meeting, they did approve going forward with the Southfield corridor cleanup. So that will be on Saturday, June 6th. And those details will be rolled out shortly.
That it?
That's all. Yep.
Oh, okay, thank you. City
Cheryl,
attorney, go ahead.
was there any discussion in the DDA of how to improve participation in the corridor cleanup?
We're open to all ideas and suggestions.
Yeah, okay.
City attorney, do you have anything?
I don't have anything this evening.
Okay, thank you. Reports from any boards, commissions, or committees. So I would toss that over to Salim first. Because I think, wasn't there a marijuana committee meeting since our last meeting?
Yes, yep, we had a marijuana committee meeting a couple weeks ago. So it went well. We had, everyone has their tasks, which are to gather information. So we're in the information gathering stages still. We're following up with other cities and what they're doing. We followed up with security experts. We've talked with
2 city managers.
Potential businesses, 2 city administrators. We've set up, multiple calls. We had a call today with the security guy. So it's been good. So we're gathering information. We've obtained some polling data from how our residents voted in prior elections and prior polls. So I think our next task is going to be to summarize the data and to get a good feel for what our residents want to do at this point in time.
Thank you. Did you see this?
Yes, I saw that. I was reading through it.
Okay.
I have it on my desk.
They have some good information in here because I know that what was brought up before was about having a the resident input, and I know that from the infrastructure committee or from our meetings is that it was a concern about the residents being able to have some feedback. And I'm just wondering, in that particular magazine, they had, I think they sent out a survey with one question on it, and their return rate was huge. So just thought about it, just, whether or not you all are doing something, you're sending out a survey or something, excuse me, so the residents feel as though they are, or will feel that they are being included in this.
Right.
Yeah, that's going to be part of what we do. I mean, that's the next step is really going to be to get feedback from our residents to see what they want. So it's going to be, and we haven't decided like what exact avenue we're going to take, but I'm thinking it's going to be a survey or a poll or something like that, because we need to get a good idea of people's feelings on this issue at this point. So we'll move forward with that this month, this latter part of May and through June, so we have a good idea of the residents' opinions on this issue, so we can include that in our ultimate decision before we bring it to the council.
Okay, and so isn't there a due date, Scott? Is it July? When is it that are we gonna have to extend the sunset, or I forgot if it's sunset or something?
Sunsets in September, so we were tasked to try to get all the information together, Salim and I and the committee, and then we work towards disseminating the information and make it palatable so we can review it with council. And we thought we were going to be there in July. I thought that's what we talked about.
Yeah, that's what we said.
Okay, so I'm just making sure that we're still on task to have that.
Yes, we are still on task. We're actually ahead of schedule.
Yeah, we're doing good. We should have our recommendation for the July meeting. I don't anticipate that should be delayed.
Yeah, one suggestion to think about, you said possibly doing a survey. You probably want to think about whether or not, if you do a survey, that we should require a name, an email address or something, because I can see a situation where people are either very pro or very against, could be, sending in multiple surveys to try to, sway opinions. So that might be something to at least talk about on how you can control the survey.
Yeah, good point. So we'll try to do it the best way possible so that we're not having, one person do 100 votes, something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Up in the ballot box.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yep, I've got an infrastructure and a planning commission update. So since our last meeting last council meeting, we've had a couple of infrastructure town halls. They went well. They were not as heavily attended as we had hoped they would be. The goal here was to provide input to the committee in terms of what plan preferences people may have. We threw out 3 plans. I should actually step back a little bit and say that, we don't know that we're going to put something on the ballot in November, but we want to be in a position where, in the unlikely event that the economy does stabilize and or improve, that we're ready to put something when we hit the deadline for ballot proposals as we get closer to November. So we wanted to be ready, so we're continuing to move forward. And if we don't put something on because the economy is still struggling, which it more than likely will be, the efforts that we make won't go for nothing, because we'll be ready and well positioned for the next time we have an election. So we did move forward. As I said, the turnout was much lower than we expected. We put 3 plans out, potential plans out there. We still do want input. The sessions were recorded. They are on the city website. Cheryl, are they on the city website, or is it the city Facebook page, or both?
I'm sorry, which one?
The
survey?
Well, the survey and the video of the meeting.
Both.
Yeah, so they're on both places, on the city website as well as the city Facebook site. I think they're actually also out in Villagers, so we do encourage people to go out there, watch the sessions, get familiar with the 3 plans, and complete the survey, because any input we get will be helpful. And then we also had planning commission meeting since we last had our city council meeting. One thing we did was approve the capital improvement plan, which everybody here knows because we approved it at our last meeting. We did talk again about the potential of allowing in our zoning ordinance the sale of houses that are the first house behind the alleyway to allow for more redevelopment. No decisions have been made there, but we did bring it up and talk about it again. We do have a virtual open house going. As many people know, we're currently working on our comprehensive plan, which is an update to our master plan, our recreation plan, and our, I just blanked, complete streets, I believe, is the third one. And so we were looking to do an in-person town hall, and obviously because of the COVID situation, we've had to cancel that, so we've come up with a virtual town hall. We encourage people to go out and participate in the virtual town hall. It just asks, you do a little bit of reading and it asks some questions. We would love people's input on that. And again, that's available on the city website as well as the city Facebook page. And then we also talked about the Lathrup Village Shopping Plaza. That's the plaza that currently houses Happy's Pizzeria and some other businesses. And they'll be doing a fairly substantial renovation to the property, fixing up the facade, making it look a lot more modern, and so on. So, and Susie might be adding. I think she's got her hand up, so she might be adding more in her update to the Planning Commission. So that's what I had.
Just a quick question to you, Bruce. So when you had the first online review of the infrastructure plan, there was a survey at the end. You're referring to that survey at the end, right? Just so everyone's clear that's listening.
Well, no, okay. So for the Zoom attendees, there was a survey that they were asked to do during the meeting, but we've also done a Survey Monkey that's online that people can respond to and answer the same types of questions. I mean, we did get some input through those surveys. We've received some surveys from people who have watched the video online as well. You know, there's at least from the small number of surveys we received, there is a leaning towards one of the particular plans, but it's such a small overall number that I don't really feel like we've gotten community input to help the committee. So we do have a committee. I should have also said this as well. We do have a committee meeting on Wednesday. The goal of that meeting is going to be to discuss next steps, try to figure out how do we get more input, or do we just, try to decide what plan we would go forward with the input that we have and the committee input. We're not sure how to proceed, so we're going to brainstorm on how to proceed and try to, effectively come to a decision so that we're ready should, again, the economy improve enough where we feel comfortable putting something on the ballot.
Okay, thank you. I think there's a quick.
I have a question also. So if it doesn't, I was just thinking about like November, and Derek, your answer, and I will refer this back to Bruce and to the clerk, but I believe it is August 11th that you have to have this to be put on November ballot.
It's mid-August, somewhere in mid-August.
Yeah, it's August 11th for it to be put on the ballot. If I'm reading the Secretary of State's dates correctly. But also just thinking about the whole COVID situation, and even though the economy could possibly bounce back in 6 months, I mean, I'm not trying to be like, the pessimist, but do you think that would be a good idea to put it in November, or would it be better if there is maybe a proposal or something that's on the May ballot that'll give us
We haven't decided on a recommendation. I think it's unlikely that the economy is going to improve and stabilize enough. But I'm one voice on the committee, so we'll see what the committee comes up with. It was pretty interesting, though. Yvette sent something to me showing the proposals that are on the August ballot, and there are a lot of proposals still on the ballot. I don't know what November is going to look like, but that was kind of a surprise. So.
Well, the reason why I brought it up is because I know that some people were concerned that this was not the time to be thinking about, a millage for the roads. And so just kind of addressing the fact is that you all still need to meet to figure out when, what we want to do, and then we'll figure out when it should go on to the ballot. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We're well aware of the concerns, and we address that right up front of the town halls. That we know there's concerns. One possible recommendation of the committee can be something on the ballot, I'm sorry. The one possible outcome could be a recommendation to council that we don't put anything on the ballot, and we've talked about that. So we haven't made any decision. Again, we're moving forward just so that we don't get caught in a situation, in an unlikely situation where things improve and we're not ready. So the worst thing to happen would be that economy stabilizes and we miss the deadline because we sat around and did nothing, and then people yell at us, well, why aren't we addressing the roads? So and as I said, any research, any work that we do is applicable, just as applicable to May as it would be to this November. So we're not spinning our wheels for nothing.
Gotcha. Do you have anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
Good. Susie, did you have a question?
Well, Bruce kind of stole my thunder. It was less of a question, more of a, hey, don't forget to do your comprehensive plan virtual open house type of plug. So he stole my thunder. That's really all I had to remind you to do. It's on the city's website. On our homepage, it's on, there's a separate page for our comprehensive plan update, so it's there. It's also out on the GDA's webpage. I know it's been in the newsletter. Take a few minutes to do that. And then after you've thought about all the wonderful things that you would like to see our community be and grow into in the next few years, then head over to the Patronicity page and make a donation, because every dollar counts. So that's all I've got.
Susie, also, I think, I forgot who, it was Bruce that asked the question about the Southfield Corridor cleanup. Have you given any thoughts on how to increase participation? Kind of talk to what we were talking about, how to still practice social distancing and that good stuff.
Well, I think it was your idea possibly of on Friday of setting up the different stations. I like it though, and I reached out to our businesses today. I usually do that, a weekly-ish email to them and let them know that, hey, we are planning to do the cleanup. We still want your help, and we are thinking about doing something along the station lines, or somehow, making use of our businesses and in volunteer capacity that way. So. I haven't thought a whole lot more about it since Friday afternoon, but that's going to be on my list. Got to make it happen. It's sooner rather than later. So.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Are there any more reports from any boards, committees, or commissions? Nope. Okay. Any unfinished or new business? No? Okay. Public comment. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes. Does anyone want to speak? I think we have 2 attendees. Okay, I'll take that as a no. Does any of the council members have anything to say before closing out? Okay, well then I guess that we are done. So I would take a motion to adjourn our meeting.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
So be it. Thank you all for joining. You all have a good evening.
Thank you. Have a good one. Be safe.